Scrubs think image is about clothes. They think it's about fashion, trends, just looking cool, and that's exactly where they're wrong. Image is not decoration, it's communication. Every environment is already reading you. Before you speak, before you explain yourself, before effort ever even matters. Studs understand that early, and scrubs usually learn it late, if they even learn it at all. Today we are going to break down the 5 quadrants of the male image, how to think about image before you choose what to wear. So why do most men struggle with image? Here's the real issue. Most guys don't think strategically about image. They dress emotionally. They dress for comfort, for habit, whatever they're used to, whatever they saw someone else wearing, and that's how scrubs move. The best way that I can think about it, whenever I go back to the States, I've occasionally seen guys at the gym that wear like these like pajama pants to go to the gym. It's a lot of like the broccoli haired guys, right? Like they got the little broccoli hair frizz going on. That immediately signals that they are just dressing for comfort. They're not really dressing aligned to the environment. It's fine, especially if you're younger, if you're like a kid, you know, you're still a teenager, you're in high school. But as you get older, men particularly respect you less because you signal that you don't care about the environment that you're walking into. You don't really pay too much importance about what other people think. Those guys with pajama pants that just walk into the gym, poor grooming, that's how scrubs move. They walk into different situations and they get confused when the results don't line up. Sometimes they're respected, sometimes they're ignored, sometimes things click, and sometimes nothing happens. They call that bad luck, and it's not bad luck, it's just misalignment. Studs understand something simple that changes everything. No outfit exists in a vacuum. What works in one environment can quietly hurt you in another environment. For example, you're not gonna be wearing a athletic tracksuit to a professional interview. So how do studs think before they get dressed? Before a stud even touches his closet, he's already asking better questions. He's not asking, do I like this? Is this comfortable? Is this trending? Instead, they're asking, where am I going? What am I expected to do there? Who is going to be in the room? How serious is this environment? Does it help me to stand out or to blend in? And once those questions are answered, the outfit stops being stressful. It becomes obvious. This is where the 5 quadrants come in. And just to be clear, this isn't fashion theory, it's not trends. Think of it like a decision system, something that keeps you from guessing and sabotaging yourself from the beginning. Let's jump into the 5 quadrants. How image is actually evaluated. Every outfit you wear sends signals across 5 areas at the same time, whether you're aware of it or you're not. Scrubs, they guess. Studs, they evaluate strategically. The first quadrant, performance. The first question is always, does this help me do what I'm here to do? If your clothes slow you down, distract you, or get in the way, nothing else matters. That's where scrubs mess up. They'll wear something that looks good but doesn't function. Studs prioritize capability. Training clothes that support movement, workwear that supports focus, clean, structured outfits when authority matters. Even your haircut falls into this category. If your hair is constantly in your face, hard to manage, or sloppy, you're creating friction for no reason. Guys, you know that I love MMA, I love boxing, I love mixed martial arts. And the best way that you can think about it is that guy that has like very long hair, he's boxing, he's sparring, and his hair is all in the way. He's not being efficient. The hair is a weakness, it's standing in his way. That's why you see a lot of MMA fighters, a lot of boxers, they cut their hair short. It's rare when you see an MMA fighter that has long hair. They are out there, but I would argue that it's just hurting their performance. And a lot of times, if you notice, they usually braid their hair or they cut it right before the fight. And the reason for that is because of performance. That's why it's so important. They want to perform at the highest levels and they don't want anything to stand in their way. Going back to that scrub story that wears those pajama pants, it's hard to take a guy like that seriously. He's not dressed for performance, he's just dressed for comfort. If you're going to the gym, you're going to lift heavy weight, you're going to push your body to the limit. And like I said, other men will respect you more because you have that image, that look of seriousness, that you're there to perform. And women will also find you more attractive because you are aligned to that situation. Function comes first. If performance fails, the rest of the quadrants don't matter. The second quadrant is professionalism. The next question that you should be asking is, does this match what's at stake? This quadrant controls trust, income, and opportunity. Scrubs dress the same everywhere. The same vibe at lunch, at work, for meetings, on dates. Studs understand stakes. Low stakes environment, you can relax. High stakes environment, you need to tighten it up. And high stakes environments would be like interviews, client meetings, corporate offices, formal events. In those rooms, presentation is never neutral. Hair, grooming, tattoos, accessories, all of it either supports credibility or it quietly undermines it. It's not about expressing yourself. It's about being taken seriously before you speak. This is where I see a lot of younger guys mess up. It's because they want to express themselves, they want to be themselves. But honestly, in the real world, when it comes to making money, when it comes to working with other men, to being taken seriously, having that credibility, no one cares about how you express yourself. They care if you are aligned and professional in those high stakes environments. So that's why it's important. Don't think about how you feel. Don't think about how, if you're comfortable, if you're expressing yourself. Think about giving the best, sharpest image possible so you can go in there and execute efficiently. Quadrant 3, masculine presence. This one is subtle but powerful. Masculine presence is strength without noise. Scrubs think that masculinity means doing too much. They think it's just being loud, overcompensating. Studs understand restraint. They understand that well-fitted clothes, clean lines, structured jackets, disciplined grooming, nothing sloppy, nothing try hard makes you look more masculine and more respectable. When this quadrant is solid, men respect you faster and women feel grounded around you. When it's weak, everything else has to work overtime. Quadrant 4, attraction. The next question to think about is, how attractive am I in this environment? Every outfit has an attraction score whether you intend it or not. Scrubs either ignore attraction completely or chase it everywhere. Studs calibrate it. On a date, attraction matters. At work, it can be secondary. In some rooms, you intentionally dial it down. Attraction isn't about showing skin or flexing. It's fit, it's posture, it's your physique. Grooming, restraint, trying too hard kills it. And an easy way to think about it is that if you're going to like a professional meeting, you're not really thinking about attraction, right? You're thinking about professionalism, sharpness, trust, credibility. In that scenario, attraction is secondary. But when you dress well, when you dress adequately with a nice suit, you present that clean, sharp image, women are still going to be attracted to you because you look like a man that's taking care of business. Like there's that saying that women love a guy in uniform. And it's very true. If you see a guy that's in the army, he wears a military camo, he wears his uniform, a fireman, a police officer. These guys, because they're in their suit, they're not going for attraction. They're not thinking like, okay, let me wake up and look as sexy as possible. They're just dressing professionally, they're dressing adequately. And just from them doing that, as a byproduct, they automatically raise their attraction level. Women find them more attractive because, like I said, they look like guys that are taking care of business and they have that mission. Women love a man that has a mission. Quadrant 5, uniqueness. The final question you should ask yourself is there anything here that makes me memorable without hurting credibility? Most scrubs overcorrect towards safety. Neutral, predictable, forgettable. Sometimes that's fine. Sometimes it makes you invisible. This is a lot of problem that I see a lot of professional guys have, is that since they're trying to fit into the box, like they're trying to fit into this professional box, or they're trying to just go with the flow, not stand out, they look more boring, they look more plain, a little bit more dorky because they're not unique. They're easily forgettable. They wear like a regular shirt with some regular jeans and some boring shoes, right? It's very boring, very plain. And this is where unique comes into play. You have to understand if it's adequate for that scenario. Uniqueness can make you stand out in a good way. You just gotta know how to work it. Studs use uniqueness intentionally. One or two things: a consistent accessory, a recognizable haircut, disciplined jewelry, intentional tattoo visibility. A signature fragrance could also help you. Like if you like wearing cologne, you can wear a nice signature fragrance that stands out. In the right environment, this elevates you. In the wrong environment, it can cost you. That's why uniqueness is optional, but misalignment isn't. You have to be very conscious of how you're presenting your uniqueness. You don't want to be that weird guy that wears like a weird top hat in a situation. It's unique, but it doesn't stand out in the right way. All right, so how do the quadrants work together? No outfit wins every quadrant. That's not the goal. The goal is intentional trade-offs. Performance and professionalism set the base. Masculine presence stabilizes perception. Attraction is adjusted to the room, and uniqueness applies only when it helps. Scrubs dress on instinct, studs position themselves. One hopes, the other decides. Once you understand the 5 quadrants, image stops being confusing. You stop overdressing, you stop underdressing, you stop sabotaging yourself without realizing it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. That's where I do daily breakdowns, and you can also see the behind the scenes. Also, I do work one-on-one. If you need help leveling up your image, send me a DM. And as always, stay fresh and stay confident.